This is the 2024 TaylorMade BRNR Mini Driver Copper. There's no doubt that mini drivers are super macho and super cool because basically when you roll up to the golf course with a mini driver in your bag, you're telling people without having to say it, look, my driver sometimes just goes too far, and I'm somebody who can hit an 11 degree or a 12 degree fairway wood off the deck, get it up, and get that ball moving. So with the 2023 TaylorMade BRNR Mini already out there, I was not expecting that we were going to get another mini driver from TaylorMade in 2024. What is even more surprising to me about this golf club, which officially is the TaylorMade BRNR Mini Driver Copper, is that this club, aside from a couple of aesthetic things that I'll point out to you, is absolutely identical to the TaylorMade BRNR Mini that was released in 2023. From a composition standpoint, from a construction standpoint, from a material standpoint, design, the shape, everything. This club is exactly the same. The TaylorMade BRNR Mini Driver Copper harkens back to the 1990s when the TaylorMade BRNR Woods were all the rage, and that famous bubble shaft was all over the place. So let me break it down for you. Now, just like a standard driver like the QI10 Max or the QI10 LS or the Stealth drivers, this one has many different materials that are designed into it. However, unlike those drivers, this one does have a titanium face. There's no carbon fiber face that's been designed into this mini driver. However, titanium in fairway woods is still something of a novelty. It's a much more expensive product. So this mini driver is going to go for $449.99 stock retail. But it is a titanium face, titanium body. You have a very large carbon fiber crown, which is hidden underneath a matte black finish. You have an adjustable hosel mechanism that allows you to increase or decrease the stated loft by up to 2 degrees. And this club is coming only in 11.5 and 13 degree loft increments. So with that sleeve, the 11.5 could go all the way down to 9.5. And obviously then the 13.5 could go up to 15.5. So there is some spread in terms of the loss that you're going to have. There are a lot of other driver-like features that have been designed into this. There is a large speed pocket slot in the bottom of the club. That's going to help to activate the lower portion of the hitting area, which is going to be really helpful if you are choosing to hit the ball off the deck with this. So the low struck shots or thin shots are going to get a little bit better performance than they would otherwise. There are also a pair of movable weights in the sole of this mini driver, a 13-gram weight as well as a 1.5 gram weight. Now, the 13 gram weight is really the one that's going to dictate the action because that's going to be the one that's going to move the center of gravity. When you have the 13 gram weight all the way forward, that is going to push the center of gravity more forward. So you're going to get a little bit more ball speed. The shots are going to come out on a slightly lower launch angle and with less spin. So if you're somebody who wants to really just send out a low bullet, you're probably going to put that 13 gram weight all the way in the front. If you move it to the back, you're going to be shifting the center of gravity a little bit more towards the rear. That'll help with stability and increase the MOI of this club. It's also going to create a slightly higher launch angle and a little bit more spin. So the club becomes a little bit more forgiving. But make no mistake about it, with this depth of the face as well as with this size, this is not going to be the easiest fairway wood in the TaylorMade stable to hit. If you're going to be somebody who's going to be hitting this off the deck, it's going to take some concentration. You're going to probably need some speed to be able to generate the spin that gives you the lift. Because you're ordinarily in fairway woods, especially if you're getting to a 5 wood, a 7 wood, certainly, the loft is going to get the ball up in the air. If you're somebody who's got this set at 13.5 degrees, you don't have a whole lot of loft to play with. You're relying on the speed that you're going to generate with this club to create the backspin that gives you the lift. The TaylorMade BRNR Mini Driver Copper comes in at 43.75 inches as a standard length. That's going to be about a 1/2 inch longer than most of TaylorMade's stock 3 woods. So if you're comparing this club in terms of length to a QI10 Max or a QI10 Tour, this golf club is going to be a 1/2 inch longer than those golf clubs. So it should give you a little bit more club head speed to go along with that stronger loft. However, if you're comparing this to a driver, this club is going to be about 1.75 inches to 2 inches shorter than most standard drivers, which are coming in at 45.5 or 45.75, depending on exactly what driver you're talking about. So in terms of the club head speed that you're going to generate, it's probably going to be somewhere between your driver club head speed and what your typical 3 wood or 5 wood be because of the length. Then you also have the size. Now, obviously, if you lay this club down next to a typical fairway wood, it's going to dwarf those clubs. The TaylorMade QI10 Max, to give you a little bit of reference, has 200 cc's of volume. This has 304. So you're going up a substantial amount when it comes to the size of this golf club compared to a 3 wood. However, compared to a driver, obviously it's going to be much smaller. Most drivers are going to be 460 cc's. So going down to 304, you're going down about 34% in size. But really, as I said before, the only differences in this club and the 2023 model are aesthetic. You know, a difference in the logo, a slight little difference in the decaling and the cosmetic. But the composition, the makeup, the design of this club and the 2023 model, they're identical. Okay, so macho factor is really, really high. The cool factor of being able to say that you've got a mini driver in your bag is really, really high. And you've got a ton of driver-like technologies that are in here. Titanium, carbon fiber crown, adjustable hosel, movable weights, all those driver type things that are packed into this. The bottom line really comes down to, is this a golf club for you? Is this something that you should seriously consider putting into your bag, especially at that $449 price point? Well, it depends on what type of golfer you are. If you're somebody who hits the driver a long, long ways, and sincerely you get driver taken out of your hands by the design of many of the holes that you play. For instance, if there tend to be fairway bunkers right in the area where your driver would be landing, if there are bottlenecks and the fairways pinch where your driver tends to land out, then a golf club like the TaylorMade BRNR Mini Driver Copper could be a very, very interesting option off the tee, because it's going to give you a little less distance than you would get with your driver, but more distance than you would get with most of your fairway woods. That type of player also probably generates enough club head speed that on the very rare occasion when they would be hitting 3-wood off the deck into a par 5, this golf club might be an option, especially if it's set to either 13.5 or somewhere a little bit higher in loft. It could give you that type of shot. If you're somebody who uses your fairway woods off the tee frequently, this could be an option. If you're someone, however, who has trouble generating club head speed, as really tempting as it might be to get a mini driver into your bag, this is not a club that is first and foremost designed to perform at its best off the fairway. It does have a case hole design to help it sort of skim across the turf as efficiently as it possibly can. But with this higher face and with this deeper face, it's going to be more challenging for mid and higher handicap golfers to be able to get the ball up in the air. Many of the fairway woods, for example, that TaylorMade makes, like that QI10 Max that I referred to, those are going to be easier to hit high in the air. So you might really want to seriously consider, as tempting as it would be, passing on a mini driver if you're somebody who is challenged by club head speed and looking into a more traditional, higher lofted fairway wood. For that reason, once again, I think as cool as the idea of being able to carry a mini driver and to be able to use it effectively in your bag might be, you want to be really careful. You want to work with a good custom fitter and find out if this is an option that's going to be right for you. It's one of those deals where, like, you probably deep down know whether you're a real candidate for this club or not. It's definitely not for everybody. If you struggle to get your fairway woods up in the air and to get hang time and to get carry distance with your fairway woods, this is a no-go. With this little amount of loft, it's not going to do you any favors. And if you're somebody who is slower or moderate club head speed, you need carry distance to get overall distance, and this club probably just isn't going to give it to you. You're going to get more ball speed, but you're going to lose out because you're going to lose overall carry distance. If you're somebody who does have a lot of club head speed, you do find the center of the face quite often with your driver, and you're looking for an alternative to driver because oftentimes driver's taken out of your hands, then the TaylorMade BRNR Mini Copper could be actually something that is worth looking into and is worth considering. So that's the TaylorMade BRNR Mini Driver Copper for 2024. Listen, in the comment area below, I'd love to hear what you think about this club. If you think that you might be a candidate for a mini driver, if you agree with me that probably along with a driving iron, that mini drivers are about as cool as golf club gets. I love the idea of these things. There is definitely an allure to them. I haven't decided whether the golf club like this really belongs in my bag. I would have to play with it and test it out, make sure that I tweaked it a lot and work with my fitter to really get it dialed in before I made that kind of decision. But let me know in the comment area below if you think that it's something that you're interested in putting in your bag in 2024. It would also be great if you would like, subscribe, as well as leave any other comments that you would have for me. So thanks very much. I'll look forward to seeing you again real soon.